Hey guys, here's a 15 plus 10 game against someone rated 917, and my opponent started with the Nimzovich Larsen attack according to the browser. So we've seen some crazy attack opening. I had somebody play the Polish against me earlier on, or the orangutan, with 1b4, and it looks like he's going for a double fianchetto. Okay, so let's gladly accept the offered centre. Pawn is defended, nothing to worry about there. So, all other things being equal, let's develop the kingside minor pieces first so that we can get castle quickly. Okay, now he's attacking this one. So, a couple of options. Bishop d6, perfectly good, because that blocks the queen's defense of this pawn, but the knight is defending it, so I'm going to play that one. Right. Another option also is to bring this knight to one of these two squares. Okay, so now what's he thinking about? Well, he can't put his queen there or there. Might be planning d4, which I can meet with e4. So I'm kind of okay. I think I want to bring my knight out and castle. Question is which order to do that. Knight out first. I'm quite happy with that. That pawn's defended once. That pawn is defended twice. Okay, and he's done d4. So, options. Takes, and he can recapture with pawn or bishop. But it does open up the e-file, where his king still lingers. And he can't castle on the next turn. So if he takes, pawn takes, I could throw in a check and maybe then castle. I think that looks alright. Obviously he's not going to take with the queen. If he takes with, okay, so if I check him now, he can't block with the bishop there. He can only block with the knight. And does that benefit me or him? I'm just going to castle. I've got this move as well, which is quite good, putting more pressure on that same square. Yeah. Okay. Right, now he's making moves to castle. I should put my rook on e8 anyway. This now puts a lot of pressure on the knight. The knight is now pinned, so let's ice the knight. And how's he going to defend it a second time? I think that's the only move, right? Can't put the bishop there. That doesn't work. So he's going to have to play knight c3 to defend his knight a second time. Or he's going to have to put his rook there. So he has two options. He's playing quite well. No real major weakness so far. This bishop is kind of ugly here. I'm not convinced with that move. That's not the best move, right? For one thing, it's just opened up a line towards his king. Another thing is it's blocked off that bishop. So now what I'm wondering is, should I drop back here and see if I can tempt him to kick again? Then I come back to here, looking down there. If he's one of these players who is minded to use pawns where he shouldn't, then we might get g4, you know. Haha! Excellent. Right, now he might push this. No, he hasn't. Okay, right, now let's do a quick review. Nothing's defending that bishop, so that's technically undefended. The pawn's defended. This is well defended, this guy here. The queen is the only defender of that pawn. It would be quite cool to slip my bishop in here as well, yeah? Also attacking this pawn. This bishop's really in the way of that guy, so he's blocked in both of his bishops right now. Now if I go here, he's got knight takes, that's no good. Thinking maybe queen d7, with ideas of maybe doubling up the rooks. That's the one thing I've got to do. I've still got to develop my queen and get her out of the way to connect my rooks. So That looks okay. Don't see any major issues, so let's run with it. I don't like the fact that he's moved these pawns in front of his king for no gain. This is the key thing as you improve, right? I mean, how much of a threat was that bishop? Really, you know? All he had to do was, he could move his knight here, then the knight's defended, then he can move his queen, right? So he had a choice of developing a piece, but instead he pushed a pawn. And then I tempted him to do it again, and he did it again. Now here I even had the option of sack and trade my knight for 2 pawns. So yes, I go down a pawn, but look at which pawns they are. Freddie and Gary, the king's own bodyguard, right? These are major pawns, these are important pawns. These guys, these are throwaway pawns, right? Not all pawns are worth 1. Okay, now we have knight to d2. Knight to d2. I still even have this option, you know, knight takes, queen takes. Whew, that could be kind of cool. Yeah, I'm just going to think about doubling my rooks. It's an attacking motif, you know, it's going to be strength to my bow or whatever. Okay, so the knight's just come from here to here. Is he worried about this pawn, maybe? I don't know. That's a funky move, though, isn't it? Okay, let's play rook a to e8. So now I'm actually... No, I'm not threatening this yet, because it's got 2 defenders. But the knight is effectively pinned, right? So if this knight was to move, I take the rook, queen's the only piece that can recapture, and then rook takes queen, and he's down a major trade, right? A major exchange, queen for rook, not good. Not good, my precious. I'm not. I mean, I've seen like grandmasters play moves like this and really reroute a knight round the board, but I don't know. Is he going to go there? He's not playing badly. I've got this. Does that work? The rook's currently trapped, yeah? But he's got pawn here. Or bishop or knight. So not really right now. Oh, in fact, no. The knight can't move because the knight we've just said is pinned. So that's one to remember. Appears my opponent's disconnected. Now he's back. Oh, no, 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 no. I'm not believing that move. H5 and he pushes. Got knight here. I think this is going to turn out, I'm hoping it's going to turn out to be a lesson in leave your king's bodyguard alone. Okay, can I get another attacker on that knight? We've said he's effectively pinned, right? So that means that's defended twice, okay. Means that square is... Can I do that? No, because you can take with that knight. Bugger. Here when he takes, I take, takes. So no, I'm not convinced by that either. So in that sequence, I would lose a bishop and 2 rooks for a rook and a queen. So that's 13 for 14. Not really convincing. Okay, middle game, what's not doing a lot? Okay, I'd like to get this knight more involved. Not quite sure how. There. Yeah, okay. So now I'm going to reroute my knight, and that also allows me to play c6 and shore this up. Oh, you played that quickly. Right, what's changed? 2 defenders against this now, but I'm not attacking it anymore. That attacks it once. Notice that's defended only by the knight. Always look out for things that are only defended once. Just something I've started doing recently. Oh, hang on. That does change matters. Look at this now. The only piece now that can block this, we can play c3. So let's think this through. Bishop there, c3, takes. I'm now forking 2 rooks. Right? Knight takes. Oh no, this knight's in the way, so I can't go in with my rook. I might do this though. Takey, takey. Takey. Hang on. There, let's say bishop takes, bishop takes. If knight then takes, boom. Is that the same material equation? So let's say knight here. If bishop takes, we're equal. I go down a bishop, up a rook, and he can't trade a queen for a rook. Okay, so he's blocking this idea, but I still think this one works. Let's calculate it again. 11 minutes. Heaps of time. Heaps of time. c6 is always a tidy candidate move, but it's not necessary to defend this pawn again right now. Here. Bishop takes, knight takes. I get rook, and he isn't going to trade his queen for a rook. So I'm doing it. Now he's got to think. This is the danger, right? The rook is defended only by the queen. I'm also threatening this bishop, but I'm not too interested in that. I've got 3 attackers on this knight now. So I'm threatening knight takes with check. And then knight takes there, attacking the queen, maybe. If either piece, if his knight takes, bang, he loses a rook. Outright. If bishop takes, I recapture. That's interesting. Ah, look what you found. Well done, well done. Okay, pretty sure I don't want to take that bishop. So he's got 1, 2, 3 defenders now. But the knight's still pinned. If I take the bishop, king takes. Can take the knight. Knight can't take. I take the bishop, king takes. I take the knight. If that knight takes, again I win the rook, so he can't. So I take bishop, king takes knight, bishop takes knight. He can't move because he's iced. King takes. Queen here, check. Right, so I've got king here. There's possibilities here. Can I get my other knight into here? Something like that. That's playable. That hits the rook. Rook has to move. I like that. Rook has to move. Then if I take out that knight... Oh no, that knight recaptures. I could take out his bishop and win the bishop pair. Fascinating game. Really is. It's totally not a one-way street. My opponent is playing very well for a 900. That's the threat. There's only one move, really. Queen can't take because bishop's defending the knight. So he's going to have to play that. And when he plays that, That knight's defended twice. So can I move back to here? But then his rook just moves back. If I take that, he's just got knight takes. There and queen c7, putting more pressure on that. I think it's time for the c6 move. I'm between ideas at this point. I don't see any kind of convincing material or positional advantage to trading off. Like, I think that's a good bishop, right? He's got all his pawns on light squares. That makes this bishop powerful. Makes this bishop less useful. His big weakness is his advanced pawns, which are currently being defended by a bishop. This knight can't move because it's the only defender of that. So I do have this as an idea. No, that isn't an idea. Taking the bishop out is an idea. Oh, he's moved another one. Have you really? Now, okay, so first thought, now we had this in a game the other day. My first instinct is always like to move the pawn one square and then drop the bishop back, create a hidey hole. However, is h5 better? h5, if he pushes again, my knight can come round, so my knight's okay. h5, and he takes, he's a fool, because then I take with the knight, trade off some stuff. Okay, I'm playing h5. This is a lesson that I learned. This is what I'm trying to do at the moment, right? This is my method for improving chess. Every game, I analyse and then try and take one lesson away, right? One thing per game I can kind of remember. And now he's got to have a think. This guy still can't really move much. Knights are paired. This is one of those instances where paired knights is useful. So obviously if he pushes, I'm going to do this. My knight's going to run around the garden. If he, yeah, okay, so just check, can't go there, there. The pawn takes, is that badness? Yeah, because he's got 3 pieces on there. There, pawn takes, is that bad? Yeah, it's quite bad. So I'm going back to running around the garden. Look at all these pawn advances now, look, in front of his king. And these guys can never move backwards. All illegal, right? Can't move backwards, pawns. That's the thing about pawns. Can't move backwards. Forwards is the way. So still, idea is queen c7, putting double pressure, double jeopardy against that knight there. Sneeze. Excuse me. So that's the idea still. Queen there, putting pressure on that knight. Now, if he sees that, what options does he have? He's got... That doesn't work, because I've got bishop, queen and knight. Jesus on a stick! What are you doing, man? What are you doing? Takes. The pawn is mine. No, it's not. It's defended. Jesus, what are you doing? There. Takes en passant. Knight takes. No, because then rook can take knight. Here. Captures. Pawn takes. I'm opening up my own king. And we don't like that, do we, precious? And we can't go rook there. I'm kind of surprised by that move. So I'm thinking knight here. This gives my bishop an escape. Or what about that? What about that? If he takes with the knight, I take with the queen. The pawn is jammed, and I've got 2 attackers on here. Now you see, with all these pawn pushes, he's put all his pawns now on dark squares. So that makes my light square bishop a bit better and this bishop a bit worse. Funny how things change. Bishop here. And I'm threatening to come into his position behind his pawns. And that's going to be uncomfortable. That right there's a bone in the throat, to quote Benny Watts. Also have to remember the queen's attacking this knight, and currently its only defender is the bishop, so I might find myself behind enemy lines. But this is... then he takes, I take with a queen, I'm defending the knight. What else has he got? Let's do it. Down to 6 minutes 45, so I'm going to have to think of something pretty quick. I think still this is an idea. And I didn't contemplate that. I should have contemplated that. Because then I've got a route out for my knight. I take the pawn. Oh, he's got 1, 2, 3 attackers. So still not an issue. Not no real benefit. But if I move this and queen takes knight, he's playing a good game. He's playing a good game. Always got to be careful picking up open challenges with people rated 600 points lower, because if you wanted to cheat for rating points, that's the way to do it, right? You sit there fishing for challenges from higher rated players where you get 15 points for a game, and I'm not saying this guy's cheating. Do not wish to suggest that. Bishop here is not... So right now I've got a problem with my knight. How about this kind of thing? That might be a solution. Really don't want him to get stuck. However, you know, something like knight takes f4. Okay. Right, no brainer. Now, 2 rooks on that knight. Defended only once. So what are you going to do? The border's just changed. 8 minutes 20 for my opponent. Okay. Tactics. If I go here, queen takes, the queen's defending that knight. Didn't think that through. If I go here, pawn pushes, and my queen's actually trapped. Maybe what I should have done then, if I'd thought about it, is take the knight first. But I didn't think about it. Okay, now what do we do? If I come off this diagonal, that knight falls. If I come here, he pushes this. I lose my queen. I've got this maybe. You might play that. If I got knight there, you take my queen, I take yours, you take my bishop, I still lose a piece. And I like that bishop. Okay, back it is. Back we go. Thank you for your service. Now, still queen c7, and I've got 2 attackers on that. 2 defenders though. Maybe this? Rook takes. It's a thought. Okay, I'm going to play queen there anyway. Should I throw this in? I'm going to throw that in, just for fun. Maybe knight round to here, queen here, that puts 3 attackers on there. He's got 2 defenders currently, but... So he's up a piece, right? But that's not too bad, because what's happened is he's got this huge, he's kind of overextended, he's got far too much space, right? So he's created a vacuum around his king, and then he's traded off some stuff. Well, I've traded off some stuff. He didn't trade. He just took. Now, is this a thought? There? If rook takes, I've got rook there, pinning the bishop and checking the king. Now it's all getting sharp, isn't it? It's super game. That attacks the queen, is no good, bishop. Okay, that's a sensible move. Right, let's have a think. Candidate moves. Queen in here. Not really attacking the knight. Queen there then. With idea of knight here, here. Third attacker. However, I don't really want to be setting up big trade-offs, do I? He's spending plenty of time on his moves. That one was over a minute. But using his time very, very well. So what I have to do now is try and get him to run his clock down. So I have to complicate things. So let's have a think about f5 now. Takes, knight takes, that's okay. Then my knight can come in here or here. I'm thinking f5 might be playable. This bishop's fairly bad. Huh. This to force a trade of rooks? Possibly. How about that? Nope. And that's no good. That's no good. If he does that though, I do get a free pawn. And attack his knight. f5 now. Is that good for me? Or do I bring the knight round? Let's bring the knight round because that gives me the option of blocking here as well. And attacking that with a third piece. He's pushed again. Push it. Toe rag. Okay, I'm going to put my queen here. For no good reason. He takes, I've got pawn takes or knight takes. He's disconnected again. He's playing out of his skin though, isn't he, this guy? Don't disconnect. You could win 15 rating points. If he pushes, I'll be happy. I'll just nudge the rook up and then he's just blocked off all his pawns, yeah? And that's much better for my king. That's an impenetrable fortress almost. Got 1 minute 28 to reconnect. That's defended twice. Oh, he's back. Rook here, he can't play rook there, because I take, bishop takes, I take again, check, so I've won a bishop. But he's got to make his moves quicker from this point. He moved very fast at the start of the game. Very fast. Okay, he's taken. Now, knight takes or pawn takes? Pawn. Knight's defending the pawn. Knight's covering there. Queen can't take. He could sack his rook. There, queen comes in. I have to go there. Queen's guarding some stuff. Okay. But now it's time to try and use the clock. He's still a piece up. Might have to put my rook in here, something like that. Just need to reinforce that pawn. Rook there even. Could be a thought. I don't want him to... This is my thought, this is my fear, that he sacks the exchange there, then comes in with his queen, so he's won a pawn back already. I have to go there, then he comes here. Block with a rook. So this rook's here. Queen there, king here. Oh, I can block with the rook straight away actually as well. That's a thought. Come on, 4 minutes 20. Now I'm hoping that my greater experience now will help me. Okay, I'm going to play quickly. Just preventing these ideas now. So now he's got to use all his time to think, okay, you're attacking my queen, I see you. Right, if I go here, he's got rook there, and then I've got d8 for the queen. So I'm going to come here. That is defended 3 times actually, but it's now pinned. That's important. Knight here, safe square. That bishop takes. Possible, it's possible. This is also a threat at some point, possibly. But come on, it's all about the clock now. We're going to use the clock. Going to hit him over the head with the chess clock. Okay, pinned, no good. So the knight is not defending this square, okay, because it's pinned. Now, so that square is defended only by the queen. He's moved his king. Have you indeed? Alright, now that means the knight is not pinned. That means that this square is defended twice. Okay, now I'm liking the look of this in principle. Yep. If I put like bishop here, if he takes, I take with a fork on king and queen, so he's got to take with a rook. Queen takes rook. Fairly comfortable. Bishop takes, I recapture with a rook. 3 minutes 45 seconds now. Tick tock. Tick tock. Okay, because he's put his... Okay, oh, okay, right, that's interesting. So is he can't come here because I take with a knight. So I'm going to play a waiting move that I know doesn't weaken my position. He can't come there because rook takes, queen takes, he loses a rook. There he loses a rook. That's possible. Okay, so we've traded. Now he's got this, but then I can move. No, he still hasn't. My bishop's doing a good job. Plus, this rook is needed to defend that knight because it's got 2 attackers, yeah? Oh no, even if it moves the queen then, discover defends. Okay, now we're having to play quicker, aren't we? Yep. His knight is bad. It can't advance. So no way am I trading. So let's play like another waiting move. 3 minutes 30. The onus is now on him to come in and try and finish me off. And how's he going to do it? This bishop is poor. I might even want to push here. If he takes, I'll just recapture the pawn. It does open things up. Oh. Not sure about that. This is not in his interests to block up the position, right? He wants to open up the position. He wants to prize my king out of his hole under the rock that he's in. Okay, that's okay. Still, he can't go here, right? Because rook takes off and then queen takes, so no good. Oh, that was a decent move. Okay, right. So pin pawn. Okay, so now what do we do? Queen here looks good. So I'm going to play rook back here. Ah, he's got a royal fork. No way! No way. gosh. Golden white, 69. If you've got 90% accuracy, 65! 65! No blunders, 8 mistakes for him, 6 for me, and I've got a missed win, which is a blunder. So this is the missed win. Okay, so right, this is lesson time. What do we learn? Okay, so I am... Okay, so that's inaccurate, but this is really bad because the whole thing swings. Maybe it's saying I should sack my knight, trade off my knight, because I end up losing the knight. So I was trying to stop him off. So best is... No, not for your move, for my move. Best move... Queen here was kind of winning. Adding a third attacker to that. Pretty cool. Don't think I even considered that move in the game. And I still had the option of that. Okay, so what was I thinking? With this, I was just thinking about preventing the pawn from advancing further. Why didn't I consider this as a move? It's fairly straightforward, but then surely you just... Okay, so let's go again. Queen G4 line, show me. Okay, then trading off, yeah. Ooh. Right, yeah, undefended pawn. Simple, basic stuff, right? Goldfish technique, yeah? Undefended piece, go for it. How can he defend it? He can't. So that's basically it. Okay, so there's a lesson, right? Simple lesson. Every move, what's undefended? Right, with this... So that was a mistake. He's undefended his pawn anyway, right? So I play this, which is okay. That's inaccurate. I missed a really nice but hard to find move. What? Knight G4, that's an interesting one. Okay, I'm very interested in this. Hang on. So here, let's just check this out. Knight there. If he takes, then queen takes, right? And that's a winning position. Then most likely is bishop f4. Knight takes it. Knight takes. Ooh. Wow. It seems like I let him off the hook there. But, you know, there at least is one lesson to remember. Yeah, always identify undefended pieces. Okay? Didn't do it in this game. Whether my opponent had any help, I don't know. I don't think so, you know, with an accuracy of that. But let's have a look at the graph. This chart thing is useful. Okay, so you can see in the opening we all play pretty well. Okay, then we all play pretty badly. But then from move 30, White made no errors and I made one. That's kind of interesting. You can also see it on here, you know. So look, all the errors are on Black's side from here, okay? But nothing bad. Oh, hang on. No, it maybe just doesn't show it there, but here it does, yeah? This is White above the line. So from that point, he plays immaculate chess. So, I don't know. Not going to say he's cheated on that, but look, he played bad, and then suddenly found his form towards the end of the game. The other thing that you can check if you wish is timings. But look, also for move 30, he played quite quick as well. Interesting. Or maybe I just played so badly that, you know, I gave him good opportunities. But that's a lovely checkmate. I mean, I spotted, too late, I spotted that. But, so, from here, I wasn't in check. So I had to, moving the rook was simply a mistake, because the knight comes in, I could at least have captured the rook. Yeah, so silly move from me. I just didn't think, and I've got 5 minutes on the clock, right? Didn't think, if I move my rook, what's he got? Well, he's got that, and it's mate, because pawn's covering this, rook's covering these two. So what was the right move there? Let's just check it on the end of this. Rook e to e7 is good, but it's still mate in one. Best move was queen there. Okay, still leaves white in a hugely dominant position, but queen there. Still not very nice, is it? And then king here. No. But wow, what a game. I mean, I was trying to go after his king the whole time, and in the end, his advanced pawns swung it. So, fascinating one. Well, thank you to Golden Y69. Well played. I hope it's well played. Thanks for watching. See you later.